This is my setup for recording drum parts into the eMu XL-7 command station Groovebox. I'm using the Roland SPD-30 as pads, and I'm not using the internal sounds. I'm just sending the MIDI signal out of this MIDI cable into the XL7. In addition to the 8 pads, I've got a hi-hat pedal on the left and a bass drum pedal and pad on the right so that I can play the way I normally would a drum kit. The XL7 makes all the sounds, and this video is going to cover the connections and the configurations required to record drum parts into the XL7. You could do similar techniques for many digital audio workstations, DAWs. I hope you enjoy it. We've got our SPD-30 providing MIDI information for the XL7 command station Groovebox. We're sending bass drum on MIDI channel 1, snare on MIDI channel 2, hi-hat on MIDI channel 3, cymbals on MIDI channel 4, and toms on MIDI channel 5. And all of those MIDI channels are being recorded on channel 6. We're doing real-time record mode. We've got quantization off, metronome set to record only, and the count in set for 1 bar, 4 beats. So here we go. And that's it. So now that we've got this intro recorded on channel 6, I want to show some of the implications of that. First of all, again, the mapping is MIDI channel 1 is going to be mapped to this track. So the kick drum is going to be on this track, and let's change this to volumes, and let's cut all these volumes off except for track 1, which even though the MIDI track information, MIDI note information is on track 6, it's going to be playing back to track 1, which is associated with MIDI channel 1. So let's listen to that. And that's track channel 2, and we start over, and there's a hi-hat, and there's the cymbals, and these are the toms. So if I wanted that snare not so loud, I could dial it back. That gives you an idea about the flexibility that you've got once you've recorded here. Another thing you can do so that you can actually split out all these notes is that you can go into pattern edit, and you can, first of all, we're on track 6 here. You can go into pattern edit. You can copy this track. Actually, this is track 5. You can copy track 6, bar 1 for a length of 32. Of course, it's only 6 bars long, and we can say home, enter yes to perform this operation. So now we have track 6 in our clipboard, the buffer, and we can go forward. We could either paste that to another track, and we're going to continue to explode the clipboard, and whatever MIDI channels are on track 6 are going to be exploded into the separate tracks per MIDI channel. So don't confuse the track with the MIDI channel, because on track 6 we've got multiple MIDI channels. But when you do the explode, you're going to take the MIDI channel 1 information, put it on track 1, MIDI channel 2 information, put that on track 2, and so on and so forth. So as soon as I do this explode operation, yes, perform, you can see that we now have the note information on the individual tracks that correspond to the MIDI channels. What that lets us do is we can mute. We can take out the bass drum, take out the cymbals, so now not only can we adjust the volumes, we can also mute those tracks, which can be very, very handy in terms of doing permutations of different tracks. For example, in techno music, it's very common to drop out either the kick or the snare or the hi-hat and bring those elements back in during the course of the song to change the dynamics of the song, either do a drop or a rise in the song that's supported by the different drum parts. That's one of the advantages to being able to explode these tracks and have them on separate tracks. Another advantage is that you can go in and edit. If we went to track 6 and we did pattern notes, you can see that the channel will change as the notes change. You can see the channel changing to 3, 1, 5. You can see there that all of these MIDI channels are on this one track. So if you're editing it, it would be a lot easier if all you had was channel 1 notes to edit. Let's go back and listen. We had a phantom note on the kick drum or the hi-hat, one of the two. Let's listen to that again. There we go. So let's go back and edit out that phantom note, and we go to edit and we go to track 1, and we start at the beginning, and we got our boom, boom, and we got a third note there. And I'm just going to go ahead and delete this note, and I'll hit the erase button to delete the note. And this is the thing to look at, because we got the same note, G2, for 3 notes, and we want to delete that third one, so I'm going to press erase, delete it, and now let's listen to it. And we've now erased the phantom note. So that's the second advantage to having these things exploded out to the individual channels. So that about wraps it up. If you've watched to this point, thank you, and I hope this has been helpful to you.